July 21st, 1997, Regiopolis-Notre lost one of its greatest supporters. Paul Halligan died of cancer after a 2-year battle with the disease. Paul was a graduate of R&D, a basketball and football coach, an organizer of Alumni Association, founder of the Ontario Irish Basketball Club, and the driving force behind the Peter Carty Memorial. Above all else, Paul was a devoted member of the school community, continually demonstrating his Christian call to service. He was a man of faith who spread the message of the gospel through the example of his life and the teachings he passed on to the members of his teams or anyone who was touched by his work. He showed us what we could achieve with dedication and determination, what joys can be derived from self-sacrifice, what strength there is in warmth and kindness, and what power there is in accepting the will of the Lord. He lived a vocation of service, and our school communities are blessed to have known him and to be touched by his life. Ontario is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Therefore, we have decided to focus our efforts in this direction. This year alone, 25,000 women will develop breast cancer, and 55,000 of these women will die from this disease. We are hopeful that through your donations, we will continue the progress in shooting for a cure. These games are played in honor of Paul Halligan, who believed in the power of sport and competition to bring out the best in people. We come together as rivals and fight for a very important cause. Those words were spoken by Leslie Stevenson, who was a coach at Regiopolis as well. No further ado, I'm going to introduce Jessica Best, who's the chaplain at Regi, and she's going to lead us in prayer.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Good and gracious God, we thank you for the gift of life and for all those who help us sustain it. We thank you for the gift of health and ask for strength and healing. For those who face the challenges of cancer, may you touch their hearts with healing. May they and their families and friends be inspired by those who fight for a cure, those who research for a cure, those who treat the cure, and those who pray for a cure. We thank you for their example of teamwork. May all of us be joined in the spirit of the fight, both on and off this court. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
We're going to stand, if you can, for the national anthem. We have a Regi student here, Mariah Aruda, who's going to sing for us. Before we introduce the teams and get this game going, we have two lovely young gentlemen here with us, grade 12 twins from Regi, Mateus and Guillermo Couto. Mateus was diagnosed with cancer this August, and he's just going to share a little bit about his journey in the last couple months with the diagnosis. So we really appreciate being here.
Hello everybody, my name is Mateus Couto. At the end of August of this year, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer, stage 4. At first, in the hospital, when the doctors first told me what I had, kind of scared at the start because, what type of cancer I had, the question. I didn't know how it was, I didn't know how everything was going to be moving forward, and how my family would take it back home in Brazil. But luckily, my cancer will be quickly treated, but so by the end of February, this cancer should go away. And so far, everything is going well, and the main thing is family and friends would also be the biggest support also who have cancer. So being there for them as a friend or family member is very important.
To introduce the team, so if you can come on out and shake the officer coach's hand and line up on the blue line, that would be great.
All right, we'll start with the Holy Cross Saints. We've got number 3, Zoe DeJong. Number 13, Natalia Ivankovic. Number 14, Macy Kelly. Number 17, Marie Stewart. Number 18, Addison Fleming. Number 19, Reese Canning. Number 20, Claire Saganowicz. Number 21, Savannah Despot. Number 23, Annie Neiman. Number 24, Laura Young. And number 27, Grace Collins. We also have coaches Adam Jeffries, Kelsey Ball, and Claire Coughlin. Now for the RND Panthers, in number 4, we have Mira Bengioli. Number 5, Alessa Barchiolia. Number 11, Angelina Sousa. Number 12, Maddie Castro. Number 13, Jolene Buchanan Cummings. Number 14, Jocelyn Perrin. Number 15, Margaret Nicole. Number 55, Summer Willing. Number 23, Bailey Gibson. Number 30, Gabriella Gherkin. 32, Peace Torres. Number 33, we have Ali Tchaikovsky. 34, Zoe Platt. 44, Millie Borges. 22, Lucy Lane. And our beautiful coaches, Mary Bessling, Jamie Emerson, Joanna Bessling, and last but not least, Claire Kenny.
Our referees tonight are Tim and Chris. Let's play some ball.
All right, folks, tuning in at home, welcome to Regiopolis-Notre Dame and the Sisters of the Congregation of Notre Dame Gymnasium for this edition of the PH Classic between the Regiopolis-Notre Dame Panthers and the Holy Cross Saints. Regiopolis lining up tonight wearing the pink uniforms, and the Holy Cross Saints lining up tonight wearing the white uniforms. And we are just about underway here at the Sisters of the Congregation of Notre Dame Gymnasium with Bailey Gibson lining up to take the tip for the Regi Panthers, and Reese Canning for Holy Cross lining up to take the tip. We are in for what's sure to be an exciting game here. Referees just taking an extra minute to get things prepared before we tip off here tonight. We want to thank you all for tuning in, folks, to this edition of the PH Classic. This game played in honor of Paul Halligan, who believed in the power of sport and competition to bring out the best in people. These games, obviously, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Therefore, we have decided to focus our efforts in this direction this year. This year alone, 25,000 women will develop breast cancer, and 5,500 of these women will die from this disease. We are hopeful that through your donations here tonight, we will continue the progress in shooting for a cure. And here we are, folks. You can hear the crowd in the background beginning to make some noise for these girls on the court tonight. Holy Cross shooting from right to left to start the game. Regi shooting from left to right on your screens at home. And Reese Canning with the tip back into Regi territory. That's Mira Vanille reaching for it, but Holy Cross comes away with it. Ball down low. And the short corner jump shot is good. That was Holy Cross up 2-0 here early to start the game. Mira Vanille looking to kick it outside to Buchanan Cummings, and that one was tipped away by the Holy Cross defense there. Regi inbounding on the sideline, looking to get the ball in down low. That's number 11, Angelina Souza. She finds Alessa Bracchiadetta on the wing. Bracchiadetta goes down, quickly swings and rotates the ball. Here's Mira Vanille, and that ball's taken away once again by Holy Cross. Coast to coast near attempted finish with the left hand. Inadvertent shot clock going off there, folks. Holy Cross with the short jumper, and that one is good. And Holy Cross out to an early lead here, 4-0, 7 minutes, 3 seconds to go here in the first quarter. This is Alessa Bracchiadetta bringing the ball up for Regi. She looks inside to Gibson. Gibson turns, backdoor cut to Vanille. Well defended by Holy Cross. Vanille, a great attempt down low there to start the game for Regi. That's promising. And Holy Cross unable to handle it in their backcourt. This will be a Regi inbound on the sideline. Holy Cross starting off the game playing some stiff on-ball defense. Ball goes inside down low to Gibson, and she's fouled on her way to the hoop. And that'll be the first foul against Reese Canning here tonight. And with that, Gibson will step to the line for 2 free throws. Gibson's first, a little off the mark, just settling into the game here tonight. Still in the early going. Gibbs' second is up, a little bit strong, off the back iron. Reese Canning brings in that rebound. And Holy Cross driving into the lane, a little bit too strong on that shot attempt. Here's Buchanan Cummings with the rebound for Regi. And she opts to slow it down, getting the ball into Vanille's hands. She's bringing it up the court here. Driving right side, ball goes into Gibson. Cut from Bracchiadetta, down low, a little bit strong. And Holy Cross bringing it up across the half-court line. Ooh, might have got away with a little walk there. And a good rebound by Vanille for Regi. The score still 4-0 for Holy Cross. 6 minutes to go. 2 minutes have elapsed so far here in the early going. And a beautiful pass from Vanille inside to Gibson, finding her down low, and Gibson goes up strong. And that'll be the second time that she steps to the free throw line here tonight. And I couldn't quite hear who that foul was on, but by the fact that Reese Canning is coming out of the game, I would guess that that second one is also on Reese Canning. So that's 2 in the early going for Canning. Canning, a great presence down low for this Holy Cross Saints team. Here's Gibson at the line again. So we'll keep an eye on that one as the game goes on, folks, with Canning in early foul trouble. We'll see how that one impacts Holy Cross's rebounding down low. Gibson shot a little strong off the mark, but off a Regi player out of bounds. It'll be a Holy Cross ball inbounding on the end line. Holy Cross bringing the ball up. Holy Cross moves the ball over to the wing. Great defense from Bailey Gibson down low, and she's hustling for the ball. So is Alessa Bracchiadetta diving for it. Some terrific hustle from the Panthers early on here, and Bracchiadetta diving for that ball. Unfortunately called for a travel. And this will be Holy Cross ball in the front court. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Inbound goes to the top of the key. Looking to the right side, crossover left into the lane. Shot goes up from Holy Cross and rebounded once again by Vanille. Regi doing a great job down low. Winning a little bit of the size battle early on here. Holy Cross might have got away with some stiff on-ball defense there in the foul. Shot goes up from Regi, and Holy Cross with it now. Slowing things down just a little bit in the early going. Regi getting a couple of really good shots and really good looks at the basket early on here. And Holy Cross will step to the line for 2 free throws. First shot is up, catching just the front iron, a little bit short there from Holy Cross. Stepping in the line for attempt number 2, it's up, and that one is good. 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Ball goes into Bracchiadetta, over to Vanille. Vanille makes good with that pressure. Vanille turns back, finds Gibson, back to Bracchiadetta. Bracchiadetta looking to drive right side. Spinning shot, gets the shot off. And just a little bit short on that one is Bracchiadetta. Ball's inside to Holy Cross. Holy Cross working around the perimeter. Here's a left-handed drive from Holy Cross. Gibson gets her hand on the ball. Looked like it was all ball from this angle, folks. But the referee had a different angle. Decides to call a foul there. And this looks like it'll be a shooting foul. And Holy Cross will set up for 2 free throws. And Holy Cross makes good on the first one. Holy Cross coming up, picking up 2 quick fouls early on Reese Canning. Okay, the foul totals have balanced out here in the next couple of minutes. Both teams sit at 2 fouls apiece. And Holy Cross leading the game right now, 7-0. 4 minutes, 35 seconds to go in the first quarter. Here's Vanille with it for Regi. And some very good on-ball defense being played by Holy Cross in the early going here. Okay, Holy Cross not coming out in a full court press. Not coming out in zone trapping, but just stiff man-to-man defense to start the game has led to a couple early turnovers for Regi. There's Buchanan Cummings getting her hand on the ball. There's Gibson as well, making life difficult for the Saints. There's Vanille. Defending on Holy Cross. Right-hand shot is up. Floater in the lane is good. Vanille inbounding for Regi. Looking for Bracchiadetta. Bracchiadetta with it. Gained some full court man-to-man defense. Vanille getting pushed from behind there. And that's a foul on the ground. And so this should be a Regi inbound on the sideline. And substitution entering back into the game for Regi. That's Buchanan Cummings taking a seat. And back into the game for Regi, that is number 23, Bailey Gibson. And we'll wait for the call here officially, folks, but we'll have what looks to be a timeout called on the floor. And the girls will head back to the bench. Score 4 minutes through the first quarter. 9 points for the Holy Cross Saints, 0 points so thus far for Regi, but a few great early offensive attempts from Regi in the early going. Some really nice backdoor cuts with the entry pass going into the high post from Regi, especially with Gibson up there in the high post. She does a great job of turning and then finding the cutters down low, which has been effective early on. Regi just hasn't been able to finish those early opportunities. And after a short timeout, we are back here, folks. Regi to inbound the ball in the front court on the sideline directly in front of us here. Line formation for Regi. Ball goes into Bracchiadetta. She puts up the three-point shot, just a little bit strong for Bracchiadetta, but followed up well by Bailey Gibson on the rebound. Gibson already accumulating a few rebounds in the early going here. Bracchiadetta looking to drive right, backing down her defender, turning into the lane. Bracchiadetta kicks the ball back out. Ball goes right side. This is Vanille with the sweeping hook shot, and she's fouled on her attempt. So Vanille will step to the line to shoot 2 free throws here. And Holy Cross makes good from the free throw line. That's Vanille putting the Panthers on the board. Score sits 9-1 for Regi, and that one last touched by, the referees will say it was Regi. From my vantage point, folks, it looked like it was last touched by the Saints, but Saints with the ball nonetheless. Ball goes out to the wing for the Saints, inside, down low for the Saints, turning right-handed drive. And that one a little bit off the mark. Here are the Saints with it. Good offensive rebounding. Ball's on the perimeter. Swings it over to the wing. Shot goes up from Holy Cross, and that one, referee will call that one a 2. 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter, folks. Bracchiadetta looking inside to Gibson. A little too strong in the pass, but Gibson fights and gets it back, and she's fouled down low. Gibson is doing a tremendous job down low, staving off some of the aggressive defense from the Holy Cross Saints. And she's doing a terrific job down low. She seems to have the ball in her hands on every single play, making good decisions every time she gets it. So this will be an end line inbound for Regi. On second note here, that'll be, that is 5 fouls. That'll put Regi into the bonus, and Gibson will step to the line for 2. First one from Gibson, a little strong, off the mark there. She'll get another shot here. Second one from Gibson, front iron. Here's Holy Cross, pushing the pace here, bringing the ball up right side of the court. Back to the right side, looking inside, down low. Holy Cross looking for an entry pass, well defended down low once again by Gibson, and I believe that one will be the second foul called against Gibson in the early going here, folks. She's done a great job defensively down low against a fairly tall Holy Cross Saints team. Holy Cross stepping to the line. 2 minutes 40 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Score sits at 11-1. Second shot from Holy Cross off the mark. Here's Vandalay with the ball now for the Panthers. Vandalay looking inside, finds Bracchiadetta with a sweet turn there. Bracchiadetta's layup off the mark. A little bit too strong there. Shots up, Holy Cross, offensive rebound. That one's back up and in. Holy Cross now leading this one. A score of 13-1. Here's Bracchiadetta bringing the ball across half. Looking inside to Gibson, well defended in the high post by the Saints. Getting their hands to that one. This will be a sideline inbound in the front court for Regi. Bracchiadetta over there for the Panthers to inbound. And we have a timeout on the court, folks, as Coach Bestlink wants to take an opportunity with 2 minutes to go in the first to talk things over with her team. Some really promising opportunities from Regi early on here. The Holy Cross defense has done a tremendous job. They've been very, very stiff, very physical on the ball against whoever's been dribbling the ball up for the Regi Panthers. They've done a great job forcing some turnovers, getting their hand to the ball, and also getting their hands in the passing lane. Regi looking to get the ball inside into the high post early on here. Holy Cross now adapting a little bit, getting their hand to the ball, knocking those balls away, making the entry pass difficult for the Panthers. Okay, that might be something that Coach Bestlink wants to talk over with her team, as that seems to be the key so far to the Panther offense, getting the ball high post into, primarily so far it's been Bailey Gibson. Bracchiadetta inbounds to Vandalay. Here it is. Alessa puts the three up. Ambitious shot from Bracchiadetta, but it was open. Shot was there. Holy Cross comes away with the rebound. Here's Bracchiadetta with the steal, looking to go coast to coast. The hand on the back from the Holy Cross defender, and Bracchiadetta puts that one in. Regi slowly clawing their way back into this one, folks, closing the gap on the scoreboard that Holy Cross opened up early here. Score now sits 13-3 in favor of Holy Cross, but Bracchiadetta will step to the line to see if she can make this a three-point play. Bracchiadetta's shot is up off the back iron. Referee says that one last touched by Regiopolis-Notre Dame. This will be Holy Cross inbound. Vandalay stepping up to play some stiff defense as soon as the Holy Cross play across half court on that. Regi sending the double team defensively, putting some tremendous pressure in the face of the Holy Cross. Here's Vanulay on the break, and she nails that one for the Panthers. Panthers doing a great job, some great energy on the floor here for the Panthers. Here are the Saints with the ball now, getting the ball across the half-court line. That that half-court trap from Regi working once again. Here's Bracchiadetta stealing that pass away. Her shot just a little off the mark. Addy looking to go long there on that pass for the Saints. They seem to be getting a little bit flustered at the moment with the half-court trap from the Panthers. Okay, forcing a few errors here in the early going. Still 45 seconds here to go in the first quarter. Bracchiadetta with the ball. Picks up her dribble, looking inside to a cutting Gibson. Ball gets tipped once more. Here's Vanulay with it. A deep two. That one's off the mark. Pulled down by the Saints. 29 seconds here in the first. Here the Saints stepping to the three-point line. In the corner, a long two from the Saints, and that one is good. And unfortunately, a few too many steps there as Gibson got caught in no man's land, picked up her dribble, and then shuffled her pivot foot, and a travel called on that play. So the Holy Cross ball, 6 seconds to go here in the first. Regi still sending the half-court trap, some great defense being played here in the early going, and Holy Cross unable to get a shot off to end the first quarter. Regi really ratcheting things up defensively and turning up the pressure on the Saints at the end of the first quarter there with a half-court trap. Looked to be pretty effective, leading to a couple quick scores for Regi, fighting their way back, closing the lead down to just 10 points. And we are back here, folks. You can hear the band, the Regiopolis-Notre Dame marching band playing in the background here. A little bit of Sweet Caroline to get us started with the second quarter here. And that one is good. Entering back into the game for the Saints, that's Reese Canning. Okay, the center down low. She was taken out of the game early in early foul trouble, steps back into the game at the start of the second quarter and knocks down 2 easy points there for the Saints. Ball goes inside to Bracchiadetta. She's backing her player down. Gets a sweeping hook shot off with the right hand, but a little strong once again. Bracchiadetta having a little bit of difficulty in the early on here, finding the back of the net. Ball swings into the corner. Here's the Saints with a corner shot up. A little bit strong off the mark, but once again, there's Reese Canning following up the play, taking down the rebound, and netting 2 more points for the Saints. She is a force on the boards here tonight. Ball goes inside. Here's Vanulay, right-handed shot on the left side, just off the mark. Saints come down with it. That was Mary Stewart with the ball. Gets kicked over to Annie Neiman. Back down low to Canning. Canning goes up with the right hand, and that one really well defended by Gibson. That'll be a good battle down low tonight to watch. Canning versus Gibson. Here's Vanulay. Vanulay over to the wing. That's Angelina Sousa. Over to Buchanan, inside to Bracchiadetta once again. This seems to be the Panthers' new offensive weapon, is going inside to Bracchiadetta. A little bit of a mismatch down low on the ground there. And she's trying to back her player down and unfortunately unable to knock that one home. Six minutes, 13 seconds to go in the second quarter. Score 5 points for the Regi Panthers, 19 points for the Holy Cross Saints. A beautiful pass down low into Canning once again by the Saints. And that one gets tangled up. Called a jump ball by the referee. And the possession arrow in favor of the Panthers here. And a quick substitution in the game for the Panthers. That is Maddie Castro stepping onto the floor here. And Angelina Sousa taking a quick breather. Bracchiadetta finds Gibson. Here's Buchanan Cummings with it. Back over to Maddie Castro. Inside to Bracchiadetta. Here's that matchup we talked about earlier. Looked like there might have been a foul on that one down low. And unfortunately, this looks like it'll be Gibson's third foul here. Okay, Coach Bessling opting to leave her in the game. And Saints with it now. That is Nora Young bringing up the ball, left-handed. Shots off the mark. Holy Cross comes away with the rebound, looks back inside. Here's Reese Canning against Gibson. And some great stifling defense being played by the Panthers, and another jump ball being called down low. And it seems to me like every time the ball goes inside to Canning, Regi is sending a double team down low to try and slow her down. And so far, the last two possessions, it's been very effective, forcing a jump ball. That's a three-pointer up off the mark from Holy Cross. Bracchiadetta ripping that one away. And it looks like that's number 23 for Holy Cross. Annie Neiman maybe getting away with a little bit of a foul on Bracchiadetta there. And Regi just a little bit slow to bring that one across the half-court line, getting called for an 8-second violation. This will be front court inbound, 14 seconds on the shot clock. Ball goes into Nora Young. Here's Young with it for the Saints. Young kicking it over to the wing. Ball goes back down low to Neiman. Back out to, that's Claire Saganowicz. Inside to Reese Canning, and unfortunately, a 14-second shot clock violation called against the Saints. Spending a little bit too much time kicking the ball around the perimeter. Ultimately ending up with the ball inside to Canning once again. They just need to do a little bit of a quicker job to get the ball inside to her. That is the offensive game plan here tonight. Bracchiadetta with the ball for the Panthers. Bringing the ball up casually. Ball goes to the high post. Here's Gibson. Vanulay nearly has that one taken away from her. Spinning shot from Vanulay. Beautiful shooter's roll for Mira Vanulay. Score sits at 7-19. Holy Cross leading. 4 minutes, 30 seconds to go here in the second. Vanulay gets her hand to it. She takes it away. And Vanulay is fouled from behind. That Regi on-ball defense, the half-court trap, doing a terrific job here of forcing some turnovers. Vanulay inbounding. Ball goes down low to Gibson. Gibson goes up, and she's fouled once again by Canning. So that'll be 3 early on here against Canning, who's been a force on the offensive and defensive boards for Holy Cross. And Coach Ball, Coach Jeffries, and Coach Caulfield have seen enough. They don't want to get their offensive rebounding all-star there in any more foul trouble. She's going to take a seat on the bench. And that'll be Savannah Despoff coming into the game for her. Here's Gibson at the line for the Panthers. She hits the first shot there. Second shot just off the mark. Here's Nora Young with it for the Saints. Nora Young over to Addie. Nora Young for three. Shots up off the back iron. Offensive rebound for the Saints. Short corner jumper, that's number 15. That's Claire Saganowicz. That one was off the mark, but the ball will stay down at this end of the court with the Saints. And Coach Ball opting to call a timeout here and talk things over with her Saints as they have the ball in the front court. This will be a Holy Cross inbound, 14 seconds on the shot clock. Ball goes inside to Nora Young. She takes it out to the short corner. Shots up and good from the short corner for Nora Young. A sweet touch on that shot. Holy Cross opting to apply some pressure of their own on defense in a full court trap. Here's Vanulay. She brings the ball across half court, breaking that trap with ease. Vanulay inside down low. That was Angelina Sousa. Found a pocket in the back of the Holy Cross defense. And Vanulay trying to thread the needle on that pass through the Holy Cross defense over to Sousa. Would have been a terrific pass had it gone through. Here's Nora Young with it for Holy Cross. Ball goes to the wing. Back over to Young. Ball goes into the corner. Here's a corner shot from Holy Cross. Off the mark, Bracchiadetta with the rebound. Here comes Bracchiadetta bringing the ball up herself. Ooh, looking for Gibson on the wing. She was open, just couldn't quite handle it. A little bit off balance on that one. And this will be Holy Cross ball on the sidelines. Nora Young finding an open Holy Cross player on the wing. Shots up, too strong off the mark. Angelina Sousa trying to get her hands to the ball there. And Bracchiadetta ultimately jumping on top of the Holy Cross player there, forcing what looks like a jump ball. Vanulay with it for the Panthers. That's Mary Stewart applying some full court pressure. Nora Young coming to trap her. Vanulay gets the pass off. Unfortunately, right into the hands of the Holy Cross Saints. That's Claire Saganowicz finding Nora Young in the corner. Rebound from Savannah Despoff. She kicks it out, and that one's off the mark from Grace Collins. Once again, here's Bracchiadetta with it for the Panthers. Vanulay moving over to the wing. Some very aggressive but very stiff defense being played on the ball there from number 22 for the Saints. That's Mary Stewart. And foul gets called. This is Bracchiadetta inbound. He's looking inside, finds Vanulay. Vanulay pivots, turns out, finds Bracchiadetta once more. Had an open shooter in the corner with Maddie Castro setting up for the shot. Ball goes inside to Savannah Despoff, and she loses her balance there a little bit. Goes up, comes back down, gets called for the travel. This will be Regi ball. Holy Cross still lining up in the full court trap. Vanulay looking to Gibson to break it. Ball last touched by the Saints. Regi ball in the front court. 19 seconds on the shot clock. 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Score stands at 21-8 in favor of the Saints at the moment. Bracchiadetta lining up a Steph Curry-like three. Just off the back iron. Last touched by the Panthers. This will be Holy Cross ball. Here's Nora Young with it for the Saints. Fakes right, goes left, steps to the foul line, takes a jumper off the backboard, too strong. This one will stay in favor of the Saints, and we're going to have a substitution into the game from Regi. Entering the game, that'll be number 34, Zoe Black. But first, Coach Bestlake wants to take a timeout and talk things over with her group. A little bit of disruption happening here. Coach Bestlake saying that she did have her timeout in at the table. Referee didn't hear the buzzer, so he's calling the girls back to the court. So here's Holy Cross the inbound down low. A little bit of a disturbance, a little bit of a distraction on the court here at the moment. Bracchiadetta defending number 22. That shot's off the mark, but here is Despoff with the rebound and the follow-up, and she puts that one home on the left side of the basket. Bracchiadetta getting trapped by Nora Young, and that's a foul called against number 22, Mary Stewart. Mary Stewart doing a terrific job, some terrific effort, full court defense, but a little bit too physical. 2 in a row getting called against Stewart for the Saints. Minute 37 seconds for the folks tuning in at home. Here to go in the second quarter. That ball, entry pass was looking for Vanulay. Bracchiadetta somehow manages to grab it once more, and looks like this will be Saints ball on the sidelines with a fresh shot clock, 24 seconds. 1 minute, 29 seconds to go in the second quarter. Nora Young with it again. Driving left into the middle of that zone defense from the Panthers. That shot once again from Stewart off the mark. She says, I'll try it again from the elbow, and she gets the second to fall. Bracchiadetta and Vanulay playing a little bit of a two-man game in the backcourt. Breaking down that Holy Cross trap. There's Bracchiadetta looking right side for the Panthers. Bracchiadetta lining up another deep three. And that one just a little outside. Substitution in the game now for the Saints. That's Mary Stewart getting called to the bench for a quick breather. And entering into the game, number 12, that's Addison Fleming. She finds Despoff down low. Well defended from Gibson. Offensive rebound that went over to Neiman. And she couldn't get her shot to fall. This will ultimately be a Regi ball with 46 seconds before the half. Bracchiadetta bringing it up for the Panthers. Taking her time. Holy Cross defense sitting off. Back in their own half. Ball goes high post to Vanulay. Vanulay looking for the other high post cut over to Gibson, and that one's stolen from Holy Cross. That's Addie Fleming's three-pointer just off the mark. And this will go back to the Panthers with 22 seconds left in the second quarter. Bracchiadetta with the ball for the Panthers. Bracchiadetta finds Sousa down in the corner. Back to cutting Bracchiadetta, and her shot's off the mark. Ball gets picked up by Gibson. Gibson trying to wrestle it away from a Holy Cross Saint. And the buzzer sounds to end the second quarter and start us on halftime. At the end of the second quarter, folks, Regiopolis Panthers 8, Holy Cross Saints 25. All right, folks, we are back here for the second half to start the game. The girls will switch sides. Regi will be shooting at the basket on the left of your screen. Holy Cross will be shooting at the basket on the right of your screen. And to start the second half is Mira Vanille to inbound for the Panthers. She gets the ball over to Bracchiadetta. Bracchiadetta back to Vanille. Looking inside to Souza. Can't get the entry pass. Bracchiadetta looking to back down Mary Stewart. Here's Bracchiadetta going to work down low. Spinning, pivoting out of it. Ball gets kicked out to Souza. Here's Bracchiadetta down low, and she's fouled on her way up. And that one will go against. Looks like Mary Stewart. Bracchiadetta at the line for the Panthers. Just to recap, second half score ended 25 points for the Saints, 8 points for the Panthers. Bracchiadetta looking to put the Panthers on the board first here in the second half. Her second shot off the mark, rebounded well by the Saints. That was Claire Saganowicz getting her pass picked off by Vanille. Vanille back to Bracchiadetta. Bracchiadetta goes up, and another foul called against the Saints. Coach Mary Besselink encouraging her group to attack the basket after the halftime there. You can be assured that she was hammering that point home. And Bracchiadetta makes good on her first free throw attempt of the second half. Sorry, her third. Second one off the mark. Rebounded down low by Addie Fleming. Finds Mary Stewart. Stewart looking to push the pace a little bit. Stewart shot up off the mark. Panthers with it. Bracchiadetta looking to go one-on-one. Back to Vanille. Vanille kicks it over to Buchanan's coming. Here's Bracchiadetta. Ball last touched by Bracchiadetta, maybe just off her fingertip there before going out of bounds. Here's Nora Young with it for the Saints. Nora Young looking to push the ball up court, finds Stewart. Stewart pivots out, finds Young once more. Young's shot was good. That one gets called a three-pointer. Holy Cross leading 28-9. 6 minutes, 41 seconds on the clock here in the third quarter. Buchanan's Cummings pass to Vanille was picked off there. That was number 15, Claire Saganowicz, taking it coast to coast. And here is Bracchiadetta, finds Buchanan's Cummings. Over to Sousa, back to Gibson. Looking inside to Bracchiadetta. That one stolen away by Mary Stewart. She's looking to push the pace. Right-handed shot up from Stewart, and that one is good. And a couple subs into the game for the Saints. That's Reese Canning coming in for Despoth. And Addie Fleming will take a seat as, looks like that's number 14, Natalia Ivankovic coming into the game for the Saints. Here is Nora Young. Bringing the ball up right side, crossover. Being defended well by Jocelyn Perrin. Ball goes inside to Canning. Canning dribbles that one off her foot, kicks it back out to Mary Stewart. Mary Stewart pump fake, drives to the left. Her shot is good after a couple soft bounces. Here is Bracchiadetta for the Panthers, defended by Stewart, meeting her at half court. Ball goes to the wing. Here's Jocelyn Perrin looking to hand the ball off to a cutting Bracchiadetta. That one goes out of bounds. Ivankovic inbounding to Saganowicz. Saganowicz finds Stewart. Stewart making it 2 in a row. Sweet shot from Stewart, extending the Holy Cross lead to 27. Bracchiadetta hands the ball off to Gibson. Back to Bracchiadetta. Two-man game at the top of the key. Brackiedetta's three-pointer is off the mark. Gibson on the follow-up. She gets it to fall. Nora Young, crossover, defended by Perrin. Goes inside down low to Canning. And it looks like there was a little bit of a collision down low earlier in the play. That's Bracchiadetta down on the ground. At the moment for the Panthers, the girls clear the court and head back to the benches. And we will take a brief injury timeout here on the court. Ivankovic inbound for the Saints. Cross screen coming. Ball goes inside to Nora Young, just off of her fingertips. Ball gets pushed up the court. Here's Vanulay to Gibson at the top of the key. Back down low to a cutting Vanulay. She hits that one in from the left side of the basket. Nora Young with the ball for the Saints. Defended by Vanulay. Vanulay forces a tough shot there. That one rebounded by Tchaikovsky. A couple girls hanging off of her arms there. No call on the play. Here's Vanulay. Vanulay driving right side. Untouched. Vanulay banking that one home. Regi stringing a couple baskets together here to start the third quarter. Sorry, in the middle of the third quarter. Here's Mary Stewart. She's been hot lately. Couple shots from that same spot. Can't get that one to fall. Nora Young for three. Back iron. Perrin with it. Over to Vanulay. Vanulay undefended. Jocelyn Perrin puts up a shot. She gets that one to fall. Quick shot from Perrin. That one's good. Regi making a little bit of a push here in the third quarter. Here's Stewart again from the perimeter. Off the mark once more. Nora Young trying to follow that one up. And here's Canning with the rebound down low. And that one gets tied up with Gibson and Tchaikovsky for Regi. Jump ball called on the floor. And it looks like we have a timeout called here by Holy Cross. The girls will head back to their benches and regroup as Coach Jeffries, Coach Ball, and Caulfield want to talk something over with the Saints. And both Coach Bestlinks will want to talk this one over with the Panthers as well. And a foul on the play there. This will send Holy Cross. Sorry, this will send Bracchiadetta to the line for the Panthers. Holy Cross leading this one, 37-17. 2 minutes, 49 seconds on the clock in the third quarter. Bracchiadetta's first just a little off the mark.
Second shot.
Good follow-up from the Panthers on that one. That's number 34, Zoe Black, on the rebound. And this ball will stay with the Panthers.
Alessa, number 5, leading 9 point.
Here's Vanulay, handoff to Bracchiadetta. Bracchiadetta, deep three, just off the mark. Rebound followed up from Angelina Sousa. And just a toe on the out-of-bounds line. This ball will go over to the Saints. Here's Saganowicz with the ball for the Saints. She's met at half court by Sousa and Vanulay. Pass goes down low. Here's Despoth with it on the left side of the basket. She puts that one home. And Bracchiadetta assuming her responsibilities, bringing the ball up for the Panthers. Backing down her defender, and it looks like we've got a foul called on the play here. That foul will go against number 5, Grace Collins. On the floor, Panthers will inbound on the end line. Ball goes into Vanulay. Bracchiadetta coming off a high screen, gets the ball back at the top of the key. Looking to back down, number 5, Grace Collins. Shots up for 3 from Regi. That was number 34, Zoe Black. And Regi opting to back off the pressure on defense. Sitting in a little bit of a half-court trap. Vanulay stepping out to defend that shot from Collins, and that one's off the mark. Saved by Neiman. And a few of the girls got tangled up down low. Okay, but all are back to their feet and walking it off. Holy Cross inbounding end line. They look down low. That went into Claire Saganowicz. That's Collins with it on the perimeter. Over to Saganowicz. Here's Neiman with it in the corner. Neiman met with a double team. She gets it over to Saganowicz. That one picked off by Alessa. And Alessa bringing it up for the Panthers. Looking inside to Vanulay. Here's Vanulay. Her shot a little off the mark. Claire Saganowicz with it for the Saints. And that one with a generous bounce for the Saints. Vanulay in the corner, shot fake. Two-man game with Bracchiadetta. Back into the corner. Here's Brackiedetta's three-pointer up. Beautiful rotation on that shot. Back in the corner again for Holy Cross. Open shot attempt. And it looks like Regi will be getting some subs into the game here. And a fresh 5 into the game now for the Panthers. That's number 22, Lucy Lake. entering the game, along with 23 Bailey Gibson, number 14 Jocelyn Perrin, number 13 Jolene Buchanan Cummings, and number 34 Zoe Black. Regi ball in the perimeter, working it around. Gibson into Lucy Lake. Lucy Lake looking to turn, well defended by number 5 Grace Collins. Oh, sorry, that's number 15, Claire Saganowicz. And a jump ball called on the floor.
There is pizza for sale for $2 outside the gym, so get it while it lasts.
Regent inbound. Lake finds Gibson down low. And foul called on the play. And this will send Gibson to the line for 2 shots. Holy Cross moving the ball well, finding an open player down low on the fast break. And at the end of the quarter, folks, the score sits at 17 for the Regi Panthers and 44 for the Holy Cross Saints. And for those who are tuning in a little bit late and might have missed this, on July 21st, 1997, Regiopolis-Notre Dame lost one of its greatest supporters. Paul Halligan died of cancer after a 2-year battle with the disease. Paul was a graduate of R&D, a basketball coach and football coach, an organizer of the Alumni Association, founder of the Irish Ontario Basketball Club, and the driving force behind the Peter Carty Memorial. Above all else, Paul was a devoted member of the school community. Continually demonstrating his Christian call to service, he was a man of faith who spread the message of the gospel through the example of his life and the teachings he passed on to members of his teams, or anyone who was touched by his work. He showed us what could be achieved with dedication and determination, what joys can be derived from self-sacrifice, what strength there is in warmth and kindness, and what power there is in accepting the will of the Lord. He lived a vocation of service, and our school communities are blessed to have known him and have been touched by his life. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Therefore, we have decided to focus our efforts in this direction. This year alone, 25,000 women will develop breast cancer, and 5,500 of these women will die from this disease. We are hopeful that through your donations, we will continue the progress in shooting for a cure. And here is Holy Cross to start the 4th quarter, inbounding from the sideline. Ball goes in to Nora Young. Nora Young driving right-handed. Finding Reese Canning down low. Reese Canning defended well by Gurkink. And scrappy play by Holy Cross, throwing themselves on the ground to keep control of that ball. Nora Young's 3-pointers up and off the mark. Holy Cross doing a great job on the offensive boards right now, leading to multiple shot opportunities. And finally, Vanille comes away with one for the Panthers. Vanille toughing it out after limping off the court at the end of the 3rd quarter. Ankle looks to be doing a little bit better. Ball goes back to Vanille at the top of the key. Vanille looking inside, no dribble left. She finds Jolene Buchanan Cummings. And we have a 24-second shot clock violation on the floor. And here is Holy Cross. Nora Young once again for the Saints. Driving left. Dribble handoff on the wing. Holy Cross getting into the paint quite easily on the dribble handoff. And that ball taken away, ripped out of her hands by Mira Vanille. Vanille to Buchanan Cummings. Manuel shot a little bit short. Manuel hustling back on defense though. It's 3-on-1 going the other way. Holy Cross puts up a quick shot. And Buchanan Cummings gets her hands to that ball first for the Panthers. Once again, here is Vanuele. Vanuele, down screen coming. Here's Nicole. And the ball just slips out of her hands, out of bounds. Here's Mary Stewart with it for the Saints. Stewart driving left, defended by Perrin. Ball goes out to Claire Sagnowich. Inadvertent horn. And whistle on the floor. Looked as though there were too many players on the court for the Saints. On the court now for the Panthers, that's Ali Tchaikovsky, Bailey Gibson, Jocelyn Perrin, Lucy Lake, and Alessa Bracchiadetta. Ball to Tchaikovsky, she finds Bracchiadetta. Bracchiadetta lines one up and she's fouled on her jump shot. And that's Mary Stewart coming out of the game, holding her knee. And Bracchiadetta comes to the line to shoot some free throws for the Panthers.
Second shot is on. No good.
Just a little off the mark from Bracchiadetta. And that's Fleming finding Nora Young. Nora Young driving right side. She kicks it down low to Despoth. Despoth puts that one in with ease. Bracchiadetta with it for the Panthers. That ball last touched by number 45. That's Nora Young. This will remain with the Panthers. Long inbound over to Gibson. Gibson finds Jocelyn Perrin. Jocelyn Perrin from way downtown nails that three. Jocelyn Perrin, some strong defense there against Mary Stewart. Mary Stewart looking for a call. No call given by the referees. Holy Cross leading this one at the moment by 26. 4 minutes, 54 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. Holy Cross inbounding on the end line. This is Fleming with it for the Saints. Fleming drives left-handed, puts up a shot off the back iron. Fleming kicks it back out to Stewart. Stewart looking to attack against Perrin, but well defended by Jocelyn Perrin. And Nora Young back over to Mary Stewart. This ball looks like it's going into the back court. And backcourt violation against the Saints. This ball get inbounded by the Panthers. Panthers, despite the fact being down by 26, still putting up a great fight in this one. Bracchiadetta. Drives left, spinning right. Bracchiadetta steps through, puts up a shot, gets that one to fall right-handed. Great finish from Bracchiadetta. Here's Mary Stewart, defended once again by Jocelyn Perrin. Tough screen by Addie Fleming there. And Mary Stewart finds her way down on the ground, but hustling back to play some defense and put some pressure on Alessa Bracchiadetta. Here's Jocelyn Perrin, pump fake over to Gibson. Back to Bracchiadetta for three. Lucy Lake down low has that one taken away from her by Addie Fleming. And the pace of this game picking up quite a bit here in the fourth quarter. Addie Fleming with a running shot off the backboard, banking it in. Here's Bracchiadetta. Looking to drive right, well defended from Stewart. Bracchiadetta spinning, steps through, no call there. Despoth comes away with the rebound for the Saints. Here's Stewart. Stewart into Fleming on the wing. Dribble handoff, stolen away from Jocelyn Perrin, and there's a foul on the play. That was Addie Fleming. Just nudging Jocelyn Perrin out of bounds there with her shoulder. Referees catch that one. And few new subs into the game for the Panthers. That's number 12, Maddie Castro entering the game. Number 4, Mira Vanule. Number 11, Angelina Sousa. Number 30, Gabriella Gurkink. And number 34, Zoe Black. Vanule met by Saganowicz at half court. The ball goes over to Black. Here's Castro with it. Over to Gurkink on the perimeter. Vanule, top of the key. She lines up a three. Just off the right side of the iron. The ball will remain with the Panthers. Regi sideline inbounds, line formation. Maddie Castro cutting to the net. Ball goes back down to Vanule in the corner. Dribbles it up to the wing. Here's Zoe Black with it. Pivoting. Finds Gurkink. 3 seconds on the shot clock. She puts up a shot. Rebounded by the Saints. Here's Nora Young. Looking to drive right side. Ball goes inside to Reese Canning. Reese Canning a little bit strong on that one. And jump ball called on the play. Holy Cross finds Nora Young. Follow up by Claire Saganowicz with the rebound and the score. Maddie Castro inbounds the ball to Vanule. Vanule looking to get something going here for the Panthers with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. The score 50-22 for the Saints. That was Angie Sousa trying to get the ball back to the top of the key, stolen by the Saints. Nora Young kicks it out. Saints for three. And that one is good. Entry pass to Gurkink. And we've got a jump ball called on the floor. Five subs into the game for the Panthers. Bracchiadetta re-enters the game, so does Jocelyn Perrin, Buchanan Cummings. As well as Millie Borges-Elias on the floor. And Peace Torah. Nora Young for the Saints. Reese Canning has a good position down low, looking for the entry pass. That was Grace Collins, number 5, spinning away, finding Nora Young. Grace Collins moves it down low once again. Shots up and good for the Saints, extending their lead here tonight. Bracchietta lines up at 3. Just off the mark. Nora Young coming away with that one. Nora Young still looking to push the pace a little bit. Short corner shot from Young. Reese Canning and Millie Borges-Delea battling down low for position for that rebound. A couple subs into the game now for the Saints. That is Addie Fleming coming into the game, as well as Natalia Ivankovic. Millie Borges-Delea for the Panthers. And a jump ball called on the floor. .39 seconds to go here in this edition of the PH Classic, folks. Stay tuned after the game as this one winds down. The senior girls for Reggie and Holy Cross will be coming out for warm-ups, preparing to get their game underway, starting sharply at 7 o'clock at the latest. And that shot from Perrin was up and just off the mark. Both teams still fighting here with 10 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. P-Store coming to play defense. Now Jocelyn Perrin looking to pressure Nora Young, and foul called on the play. And with that inbound, time expires. And the final score here tonight, 22-55 in favor of the Holy Cross Saints for this junior girls basketball edition of the PH Classic. Stay tuned at home, folks. Like I mentioned earlier, the senior girls will be coming to the floor in just the next couple of minutes after a few words here from our MC. For their game, which will be starting promptly at 7 o'clock. You can stay tuned on the Regio Athletics YouTube page to continue watching that one. You may have to click over to restart your stream, which should be going live in the next few minutes. Thanks again for tuning in, folks. We look forward to seeing you all at the senior game.